Hello, welcome back to Botanical Woman. I'm Christine. Today I'm giving you my first ever houseplant tour. And if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping in. Don't forget to subscribe and like our video. Before we dive in, I would like to give you an introduction to our space. Behind me is our plant room, our living room, our dining room, our filming studio, and also Volka's playground. Over on the orange wall is where the heater lives, so therefore that is where I have most of my cactus and succulent plants. And as we migrate further away from the heater, we have my more tropical plants that love their humidity. And for this tour, we're going to begin up here on the shelf. Okay, this is my black pagoda lipstick plant. All summer, it was doing nothing. I had no idea whether it was happy or sad, but it has been blooming constantly for the past, I want to say, at least 6 weeks. It has just been blooming nonstop. It is super happy under this light. This shelf was put up in July, so it's been living here since then. All right, moving on. This is my Anthurium clarinervium. It is, I can't say it's the happiest. I did discover that it had some root rot, so I changed the potting medium to loosen it up like a week ago, I want to say. And it, you know, it's not dead, it's not alive. I don't know what it's doing, but it had this, it grew a flower twice now. So I don't know, maybe it's happy and sad at the same time, kind of like the way we are. This is my Citronella plant. I grew it from a little rooted cutting and it has gotten ginormous. I love it. I think it smells really, really nice. I highly recommend you getting one. And it's super easy. Like right now, it's a bit dry. It needs water and it's not complaining. And once you water it, it just comes right back. So amazing. This is my other lipstick plant. It is the Lisa. It has not been happy all summer. I think that it was a combination of like it not getting enough light with also the fact that this is potted in a very moist medium, in addition to the fact that I had no idea it was actually waterlogged. I thought I looked at the bottom and it looked like it had holes in it, but apparently the drainage does not allow the water to come out. So it's probably suffering from some root rot, and I don't know what we're gonna do for it. Moving on, these are the two peperomias. This is the Incana, and this is the, I don't know, what is it, like Polybotrya or something like that? I can't remember, but yeah, I beheaded them, and now these are the heads that are being propagated. I would say it's going okay. I mean, obviously, you know, the leaves are gonna yellow, but it has rooted, as you can see here. And this one, you can't really see the roots. So not sure what's going on there. And this leaf is definitely going to rot and fall off. But those are the experiments I'm running. This is Gary. Hi, Gary. He is the oldest residence, well, the second oldest residence in this place? Yeah, that is correct. And I am the third. Dan's the first, of course. Okay, moving on. Gary. Oh, right. Gary is a, Gary is a marble queen. Doesn't look like one right now. He's had a really rough summer with fungus gnats, and he is recovering slowly, but surely. I might give him a haircut and just propagate some of his leaves in water, because I did that last summer and that was really nice. This is the String of Heart Orange River. I got it as a trade last summer, and it's just been propagating. I have several of these going. I haven't figured out their like lighting need yet, so historically I think I've just been giving them too much light, so they haven't been super happy about that. So now it's up here chilling. Hopefully it'll like it better, basically. And here, this one is some kind of parachute plant. I don't remember the actual name of it, or sugar plant. It was dying for a while. I didn't understand, like it takes me a while to figure out what's wrong with it. You know, so every time I bring a plant home, it suffers the first stage is suffrage. Then we get to know each other, and then, you know, they kind of come back up from there, but, or they don't. So this is the famous white fusion that the original, like one of my, our first 5 videos was about. It has outgrown its terrarium, so now it has to live amongst all the other plants because, yeah, it just couldn't stay in its castle anymore. So it got spider mites. Mainly, I think it's adjusting to the level of humidity, how low it is. So a lot of, you know, those leaves that was living in the super, you know, luxurious spa every day was just not happy. They're like, give me back my humidity. And it's just not there. So, but you can see that some of the other leaves are adjusting nicely, and as new growth come in, hopefully it will adjust. Otherwise, I think I'm going to really just say that this plant just needs too much humidity for my environment, and I just can't keep it in my house anymore. So that's a Hoya, so we're skipping that. This is a Begonia Rex, looking lovely, don't you think? It used to be like, you know, 10 times the size at its, you know, glory days. But since the summer towards the end of the summer, it was really just not happy. I think my main struggle with begonias, I think, is that there's not enough, I don't water them consistently enough, and they like to stay moist, is kind of how I feel about them. So they're too needy for me. I mean, people say calatheas are bad, but begonias are not cool. All right, here's another one of my favorite calatheas, is the Maya Yorkie, I believe, Yorkie? I don't know. You think, like, I say it so many times I would remember it by now, but I don't. Yeah, there's spider mites problem going on since the winter has arrived, so I've been trying to keep on top of that. But so far, this guy has lost all of its bottom, the baby leaves that it came with, so this is all the new growth that it put out during the summer. So it's super happy. There's a brandy back here. It's really hard for you guys to see, I think. But this is the brandy that was recovering, and finally, I want to show you guys without breaking anything. Come on. There we go. Look at this leaf, this new leaf is amazing. Looking real good, except, you know, it looks completely deformed. So I'm going to, I think, cut it up and propagate it again, so that you don't have this, you know, bare stem that's about like 2 feet long, and then you have all the new growth at the end. Doesn't look nice. Here's some propagations. This is the Socialis that I actually got for free as cutting, so they're just doing their thing. This is the other Peperomia that I just showed you earlier. The, was it Polybotrya? I don't know. But here it is. It's not doing great. It was fine, and then it got really yellow. I think it was getting too much light, and then, like, you know, it's bending like this because of, like, not consistent moisture. I don't know. Me and Peperomia, we got a complicated relationship. These are Peperomia, I can't remember. It's one of the trailing ones. It's not the button-shaped, it's heart-shaped. I don't remember the name, but I killed a bunch of these because I was experimenting with them, and finally I'm like, okay guys, enough is enough. Just gonna put you in some dirt and leave you alone. This, I have no idea the name, or I forgot, I looked it up. I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere, but I got it through trade. It never recovered. It just looks so sad. If you have any tips about this, I'd love to hear from you, because I really want this to do well. Look how gorgeous the back of these leaves are. Like, the print on it is really, really pretty, which is why I wanted it in the first place. But I mean, it's been like this. I've had this since the beginning of the summer. So it's been like, what, 8 months? Maybe a little less, let's just say 6 months. Fine, 6 months. Propagating some begonia here. in semi-hydro, trying to see, you know, if it will like it better because I have such a hard time with begonias. And it seems fine. I've had other issues with begonias right now. They have rust on them, I think. No, is it rust? They have some kind of bacteria on it. And so they're attacking the leaves and killing the plant. I'll show you guys when we get over there. This is another Calathea that I rescued, air quotes, rescued from one of our neighbors. And it was doing a lot better over the summer, but then now it's winter and it's just not happy again. And we did get spider mites. So we talked about that. My Calathea Medallion, we had a good beginning and then sort of a rough middle, and we're now back to, you know, we're back to a good place, I think. I had to behead it because it got really sad, so I just cut it all back. And now it's doing better. You know, it's still not as pretty as it was when I first got it, but it's, you know, nice to see it come back from the dead. This is my Ficus Benjamin. Nothing, I can't say, my only comment about this plant is that if you don't have strong enough sunlight, you will not get the variegation. And, you know, that's part of the beauty, at least that's why I bought it. And so it's kind of a little bit of a bummer. It had some kind of disease earlier. It seems to be recovering from that. This is the Calathea Worksevixii. It is not happy with me. It has not been happy ever since I divided it. I don't know. I'm ready to say, like, if you don't love me, I understand. You know, you can go. But I'm ready to buy a new one and give it, you know, another go. This is not the end of it. We're gonna work it out. This is my Calathea. This is the Stromanthi Magic Star. I really, really love the shape of these leaves. That's why I have also the Stromanthi Trio Star, which we'll go over and look at in a minute. But I really like the leaves. Oh, these really cool leaves came out completely cream, you know, in comparison to the two. So crazy. I love the kind of the Milky Way look where it's kind of like this splattered paint on the leaves. So that's, yeah, really cool and different. There's another Calathea in the back. Also, all my Calatheas, I would say, this winter is not happy. With spider mites, with just missing the sun, they are just miserable. That's all I have to say about them. This is the Cienti one. They're doing actually better now because I think the soil was too dense, and then one day I was just let me just squeeze it and loosen it up. And it's growing a lot bigger. This is a begonia, and their name is right here. And this one is the Listada. It has a pretty lime stripe that goes right through the leaf, and you get really dark foliage. My only pointer with this plant is don't give it too much light. It doesn't like it. It gets really sickly looking. It loses their dark color and turns more and more light green. This is a Peperomia that I've been propagating since actually last winter. It is very sad looking. I don't really know what to do with Peperomias. They are not my forte. So this is the cardboard palm. I actually really like the shape of the leaves and how they feel. They do feel a little bit cardboardy, but it also has, the younger leaves have this fuzz to it, and the older leaf is more glossy. So it's really cool. I love how they just kind of dance in the air. The yellow you're seeing down here is because you're not supposed to get the little bulbs moist. So that happened. But yeah, it grows super easily. I haven't had any problems with it other than these are maybe consistently, I would say the past month it's been getting like this. And I don't know if it's a combination of how I'm watering differently versus like, you know, how much sunlight they're getting. Okay, moving down here, there's just a mishmash of like weird plant science experiments. I'm trying to grow the Monstera Addisonii just in some water. That is going not so well, as you can see. It doesn't like just water. And here is a Hoya that I'm propagating outside of the propagation boxes. I don't know, I just decided to take that one out and never bothered putting it back. This is the, what is this plant? This is an orchid that I saved from QFC, and then like it got super sad living here because I think it wasn't getting any water. So it wasn't getting any water, and the leaves most of the leaves dropped off already. So most of what you're seeing is new growth, and then, you know, it got all yellow and like wrinkly. But now if you look closely, you can see the roots. And they're really healthy and green, and there's nothing in there other than moss. So I would say it's doing well. I gave it some fertilizer the other day, hoping that it will maybe bloom for me this summer. This, I forget the name of this guy, Silver something, but this is one of those plants where it was great, doing great, and then winter came, and then it's like, I'm not happy. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go dormant. I want to say no, but I don't know what's going on with it. But I did check it the other day, and it keeps flowering, and I keep pinching them because they kind of make a mess and they go everywhere. So I don't want them to flower. It's just a Pupa calyx that I am, oh right, no Hoya talking. No Hoya talking. This is one of the begonias that I am not propagating. I got this from, no, I was propagating this. Yeah, I got it from a trade, and I don't know what's going on with that, but since it's like, it's obviously gonna take over this leaf, and maybe I should cut it now. But these leaves are fine. I have another one inside the propagation box, and those are much happier. This is my vanilla bean orchid, and I got it. It was great. I had it in the propagation box, and I think it was too wet, or it stayed too wet too long. Anyway, the top fell right off, like it just melted, like this part of it. And so it is only now, it was, I guess, dormant for quite some time, and only now putting out this new growth. Like for a long time, I don't know if I just like killed it entirely, but that's where it lives now. No more humidity box for it, or propagation box. These are, oh my God, they're not Stratoscantias, it's the other name. Anyway, they are super cute. They get, you know, little freckles when you give them highlight. The only issue with this plant is they do not like their leaves being wet. When they do, they get nice and brown for you. So if you don't want that, I suggest bottom watering, but it gets really lush and full, so it makes it super cute. I did trim it like way back since the summer ended so that it could put out new growth, and so the little new growths are looking real good. And then just another propagating some Philodendron mecons. There's, oh right, this is a Monstera. This is a Monstera in there doing some hydrotone action. Not sure. I pulled it out of my other terrarium, this one. So this is my mini terrarium that I made. Let me put this down. Over here. Yep, so this is an IKEA jar that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace, and I just threw a bunch of cuttings that I had into this bowl. Inside, all I put was some moss, and it's been growing. Things have been growing, things have been dying. You know, so if it's dying, then, you know, I just take it out, remove it so it doesn't, you know, get mushy. So that is one thing about the maintenance. And then I did overwater it recently, and then a lot of things did die and yellowed. So just clean it out. So make sure you just don't overwater it, otherwise it's really easy to keep, I think, because there's no lid. so you don't have to worry about like things rotting too much. Yeah, this Maranta is doing great. This is a curly spider plant. There are little turtles in there, string of turtles. There are a lot of peperomias that like was propagated and then died, and then now they're like propagating again. It's like a self-propagating system. It's cool to watch and play with. Okay, you are Hoya, so we don't talk about you, but you are just a cutting. It is not, it's related to Tradescanti, but it's not. It starts with a P, P-A-L-L something. I love the color. I got this from Jess. That's actually one of the reasons we met. So this purple is just really gorgeous, and if you give it highlight, it will actually turn pink for you. And I'm growing it in water as an experiment. I have some outside that's growing as in dirt. So I got my bases covered. If any of them die, I got more. Here is a Alocasia poly, what do you call it? It's not a root, like a bud. Is it a bud? Bulb, that's the word I'm looking for. There was one of those bulbs just hanging out on top of the soil, and then like I kind of just like gently picked it up to see if it would move, and it came right out with no roots. So I just popped it in some leca not too long ago, I want to say like 2 weeks, and there's some roots developing, and also it's pushing out a new leaf, so that's awesome. So that was a nice pleasant surprise. There's more not Tradescanti cousins. This is supposed to be the one that, you know, gets nice and pink leaves, but because it's just not enough light, we're not getting those colors here. So in the summer it was living outside. I did have to trim it back, and like the other ones, the leaves are sensitive to being wet. This is the Calathea ornata, another Hoya that I had to behead over the summer because I bought it from Lowe's, had spider mites, and it just never recovered, so I just butchered it, and this is what you see now. So I would say it's a lot happier. These marks, I'm pretty sure happened because I had to treat it for spider mite, and the solution maybe was like too strong for the young, when it was young, so sat around for too long on the top of the leaves, so it burned it. Here is a Hoya that we don't need to talk about. Whoa. This is a Alocasia that I got from a friend. We traded, and it is called the Maharani, yeah. And it had more leaves, but now it's pushing out one. I'm still adjusting to like how to take care of this plant, and she has it in a really porous medium, so it's a little tricky for me because mines are they keep things a little bit more wet. So just gotta keep an eye and remember to water it more frequently. But that's nice that it's putting out a new leaf. I didn't actually realize that. I was actually looking at this the other day. I have no idea what's inside. It appears to be a jar of leca with some water. I am sure something's in there. I just don't know what. We'll just leave it in there. What is the Calathea bulb? Yeah, it might have been a Calathea bulb. That's correct. What is this one? Oh, this is my sundrew. Yeah, it is a carnivorous plant. I really love, what do you call it? The sap that's on the end of the little hairs, the little red hairs. I don't know, I just think it looked really magical when I first saw it. I actually saw it at a jewelry store. They had them like part of their window display, and like the sun was just shining that day, and it just, as the light hit the little pink hairs with the drops of sap at the end, it was just, I don't know, sort of magical looking. And it's been really easy to take care of, and it produced obviously flowers, and I was actually able to propagate some, and so there are little baby ones kind of growing at the bottom there on the base. And so that's been pretty neat. I haven't really seen the babies catch anything yet, but there are definitely gnats and stuff flying around. That is the reality we live in. I don't know the name of this plant, but it is related to the really sad plant that I showed you guys earlier. that never recovered. But it was doing fine. So I think maybe they're going into their dormant stage because they think it's winter. Because all three of them are kind of suffering a little bit. This is my, CB Blue. This was propagated based on a few strands that I got from a cutting. I would say they're growing really well. I really love how small the leaves are. Volca is digging. Volca! Cut it out. Good out. Digging. Yeah, so it's growing really well. Yeah, I love the little leaves. Really cute. I know like Lowe's over the summer was able to like get baskets of them, so a lot of people got that. I didn't buy it, but now, I don't know. Nah, it's okay, I'm happy with this one. Those are two Hoyas, and that is it. Come here. Come here. Yes, good girl. Okay. Okay, so I think that took actually a lot longer than I thought. I didn't realize I had so many things to say about my plants. So I think we're gonna stop here. We've gone through literally less than a fourth of my collection. So I'm hoping we'll be able to move a little faster in the next 2 or 3. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least 2 more episodes, the continuation of my house tour. So please subscribe so you know when they come out. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. I really hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, happy growing.